Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber open up to the public. We got to talk about this and a lot more, but before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian and I spill pop culture tea videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy bestie, you have found me. You guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, the whole vibe feels like we're on a FaceTime call and we're just hanging out, being cozy, sparkly, and just messy, okay, girl? I also, of course, have my trusty coconut water. You guys know I love coconut water so much, honey. And let me tell you something. Coconut water is getting expensive. I'm like, bitch, do I have to climb on top of the fucking palm tree? What is going on with the coconuts, bitch? You act like coconuts are like, damn, like coming from freaking, where does Hercules live? In Atlantis or some shit? Like, damn, bitch, what are the Bermuda Triangles going on here? Fuck. The fuck are these coconut made out of? Willy Wonka spur? No, but for real, girl, yesterday I went to the grocery store and almost got freaking taken away, honey. That wind was winding last night, bitch. I was like, the Santa Ana wind, what is going on? But I went to the to grab one. Usually these are like they were like $175. Now it's $269. And then the other day was $3. I was like, what type of coconuts are these? The Beverly Hills of coconuts? So if you have another brand that I should try, let me know, bitch, because damn, bitch. Anyways, because I don't drink coffee, I don't drink soda, I don't drink none of that. So this is what gives me like my energy, you know, to like when I film my videos and stuff. I'm like, but damn, bitch, I'm gonna have to do OF and do some crazy feet pics just to sell them so I can get my damn coconut water. Anyways, how you doing, best friend? So Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, speaking about coconuts, Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, they opened up and showed their date night, which was sushi making. And a lot of fans have a lot to say, but let's watch a little bit and then we can talk. All right, best friends. So Justin posted, girl, what is that? Oh, is that tuna thing? Ooh, girl, I don't need nothing that is raw, honey, okay? If the heart is still pumping, bitch, it ain't going inside me, girl. Okay? But you know, this actually looks really freaking cool. Like having a private sushi chef going to your freaking, going to your freaking house to teach you how to make sushi. Oh, girl, that is a bougie. You know, the closest thing I've been to a sushi is an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet. And you know what, girl? I always only get the vegetable because you just never know, honey, with this fishes. I'm like, I do not want the Temu version of flounder. Okay, bitch? But you know what? This looks so cute. So being relatable and open is in. I told you guys about this yesterday. It is super freaking in, and I am here for it every step of the way. I think that if you see your favorite artist open up and show you a little glimpse of their life, it is fabulous. I mean, people are like zooming in and seeing what kind of products and what kind of pills or what kind of, vitamins that Hailey Bieber and Justin take. People are getting to see how they interact with one another. They're seeing a little bit of their home. Like, this is what people want. And at the end of the day, girl, we are nosy. We are nosy. We're nosy by, by creation or whatever the fuck it's called. And there is nothing wrong with being nosy. I think being nosy is kind of fun, if I'm being very honest. And I love seeing people's homes. Oh, it's like a turn on. I love, I talked about this the other day, best friend, but I love to see people's fridges. I love to see people's fridges. Oh my God, do I love it. I love to see how they're organized. I love to see what they drink, what they eat, what they, what kind of brands they buy. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're not buying the Kroger kind, but you know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm a fucking nosy bitch. I've told you this before, but like when I go to friends' houses and stuff, and they're in the kitchen or getting things ready, I'm just peeking in. I would never open anybody's fridge, but I'm just peeking in if they open the fridge, and I'm like, okay, girl. You can tell a lot about somebody with their home. You can tell how it smells. You can tell how clean it is. You can tell how they serve. I am all about that, best friend. Oh, girl, I love it so much. It's like a passion of mine. People's homes, the way it smells, says so much about them. I take my home very serious. I really truly do. I'm all about organization, not like neurotic, but I love organization. I think it's important to be organized, and I think it's important to have a presentable home smells good and that looks good and that it's clean, you know what I mean? But anyways, I love to see this side of them. I think it's really interesting. I think that it's, I also think it's important and I think it's very needed. And I actually feel like this could definitely be a really big indicator of what's coming. Now, there were a lot of rumors that supposedly, now take this with a grain of salt, that supposedly they were going to have some kind of docu-series, some kind of reality show. So it is being reported, and I don't have a lot of tea on this, so just take this with a grain of salt. Maybe I'll dig deep a little bit and film that video for you guys tomorrow, but it is being reported, the streets are talking, that Justin Bieber is gearing up for a sort of like a Netflix documentary, his on, you know, the road to Coachella. So that's kind of the drama, the news, the rumors that are out there. The Beckhams, Victoria Beckham, she just had one on Netflix. So I could maybe potentially see Justin Bieber doing this, you know, in his like way of preparing for Coachella type deal, you know, like a documentary, sort of like Beyonce did with Homecoming, which is so iconic. But I think Justin could definitely do that, you know, and it's just called Bieber or Justin Bieber, you know what I mean? And I really think that like this could be a huge thing for him, and it's most likely going to happen. Plus, Netflix will pay a lot of money for that shit. So I think what he's doing is that he's kind of preparing the masses of how it's going to be, you know, like a little glimpse inside his home, how he prepares his dynamic with Hailey, their home life, you know. I think it's pretty cool. You know, I have never been in a cooking class. I've always wanted to learn how to make sushi, best friend. I've never really done it. I did date this guy who did sushi, but you know, he didn't, you know, he never taught me nothing, girl. He only taught me how to cry, okay, girl? Me listening to fucking Evanescence at 3 a.m, fucking crying over this stupid ass loser with a little dick. Ooh. You know, so I did, best friend. I thought it would be really funny to show you a little bit of a glimpse of me at a cooking class in Italy. This past summer, I was in Milan with one of my best friends and her daughter, shout out. And we went to a pizza gelato making class. And I highly recommend this. It was super affordable. I think it was like 30 euros. And you got to eat the pizza and the gelato. And everything was, of course, you know, provided. I thought it was such an amazing experience to learn from someone from there authentically how to make sauce and how to make pizza and, you know, little tips and tricks. And, you know, I'm grateful I filmed the whole thing because I can't remember shit. But we also made our own gelato and, you know, and we made our own cones for the gelato. So it was so amazing. So here's a little inside of me making pizza and gelato. Also, the teacher was so into me, honey. Delusion, but I was his helper. I was like a teacher's pet, honey. And girl, though, his hands were this big. My girlfriend was like all up on him, honey. It was so funny. He was so incredibly sweet and kind. So here's a little glimpse of me making pizza and gelato. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Mwah.
I'm going to press in the middle, and in this way I can remove all the seeds. I'm going to add the seeds inside the milk. And for today, we can add all the bean inside in this room because we don't make vanilla sugar. And in this way, to don't waste the bean, I can add all the bean inside so I can give more vanilla flavor to the mix because also the bean is very rich in vanilla flavor. So the first step of the recipe is mix very, very fast to dissolve the black dots of the vanilla inside. Come on, say it faster. No, it's okay. You can stop now. Okay, now we're going to add the second ingredient. So, in your opinion, why we're going to add iced sugar or powdered sugar, and why we don't use the regular one? Who wants to do that?
Easier to more fine.
Exactly. And to explain that, I want to give you a secret about the Italian cuisine. Italian cuisine is based on the high quality of raw materials. That is to say, we're using a fresh milk. With fresh milk gelato, don't show to your follower how much sugar we are putting inside. And mix again. Just to dissolve the sugar inside. Instead, as last ingredient, we're going to add the cream. I suggest you to add the cream always at the end of the process, because as you see, we're going to mix the mixture for a long time. And if I added the cream at the beginning of the process, during this time, I wish to whip it inside the mixer. So I wish to put a lot of ale, and I wish to make 50% gelato and 50% ice cream. Mix that just for some seconds, and then our gelato mixture will be ready. What do you think about it?
I love it. It feels special.
One point in one time, you risk to break the dough, and if you break the dough, in the same case, you are going to make some holes, because the dough is elastic but not too much. So I suggest you to be gentle with your dough. So this is the right size that we should reach for our pizza dough. As you can see, it is a little bit smaller than the classic pizza that all of you complete your first Italian pizza dough. Now, before to put the dough inside the tray, I suggest you to add a little pinch of semolina, so in this way we don't risk the dough will be stuck on the tray after the rising. And I suggest you to use only this kind of flour from this mold, so only the yellow one, because the semolina is a little bit more thick than the soft wheat flour. It absorbs less humidity, and in this case we don't risk to dry the dough during the rising. Now we're going to put the dough inside the tray. There's a mosquito. In this part of the process, I suggest you don't press the crust with the spoon, and try to keep the crust clean, because if some tomato will go on the crust, you risk to find some black burned lines of tomato on your crust after the cooking. So keep it clean. Your pizza dough, and then put it in the oven, but on the bottom of it, without any tray, because the same heat element that you have on the top of the oven, it is also on the bottom of it. And if you put the pizza directly in the oven, it can start to cook immediately. So let it cook for 5 minutes, more or less. After that, remove the pizza from the oven. At this point, you can add all the toppings that you want, like cheese, sausages, vegetables.
We're gonna try my pizza. First pizza I've ever made in my whole life. I'm so proud of me. Okay. Look at it, you guys. Wow, cheers. Best pizza in the world. And I made it. Look at this. So proud. I'm basically Italian. I'm gonna move here. Cheers.